Hey guys, how you holding up? I realized we had some craziness last night when folks realized that their partners hadn't all posted to discussion. I hope you got my message. I realize it came in late. I hope you realize that you can continue to give each other peer review. I'll accept submissions today. It's Monday, even tomorrow. You know what? That's okay. If you get your reviews in by Tuesday, okay, cool. I'm going to just recognize that this is a crazy time and this is a stressful week. It is Thanksgiving, which should be a holiday, but it's weird. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But first, I want to just address what's happening this week. This week, please put your energy into giving each other feedback and to revising your essay. I'm going to introduce you to the new project that's going to be due at the end of week 15. We're almost at week 15. It's week 13. Hang on, guys. We're almost there. Okay, let's look at this. We're going to go in here. I'm going to show you week 13. And I want to show you something cool. I made this. This is a poster using Canva. Canva is one of the tools that we'll talk about today. I'm just showing off because, not because this is good, but because it was easy. And I'll show you why that matters in a minute. This week you're going to finish revising your essay. If you haven't already signed up for a one-on-one conference with me or worked with Rachel, please do so today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. I've added more times to our conference schedule. You can click here and add your name. I'll give cursory feedback, not detailed feedback, as I look at your submissions and discussion, but if you want one-on-one deep help, let me know. Sign up. Also, as I say, Rachel is available this week as well. Take this time this week. I said originally that the deadline would have been the Wednesday before Thanksgiving to get it off your plate. But if you need until Sunday of this coming week, that's fine. Take it. Use that time and give yourself a little breather, because a breather is actually as important to your work as fine-tuning where the commas go. You need to have some perspective to come back and look at your work with objective eyes. So there you go. So this week, you're going to complete your report. You're going to reflect on your research report in your journal, and you're going to take a quiz on apostrophes. Apostrophes might be good to know about before you submit your final draft. So you might want to do that early on just to get comfortable with using apostrophes appropriately. We're going to be making a transition to a genre translation, which is to take the information that you have gathered for your informational report and repurpose it, repackage it for a new audience using a new genre and medium. I'll explain that in a moment. Your tasks, as you know, will be to submit your final draft, a journal, and the journal will be due the day after you submit your final draft. So if you turn it in on Sunday, give yourself a little time, and then on Monday you can turn in your journal. That's okay. If you get it done earlier than that, fantastic. As I say, the quiz on apostrophes is due no later than Sunday night, but you might want to take it earlier just so you're comfortable and confident with your apostrophe deal. Again, if you haven't signed up for a conference, feel free to do so. And I want to point out that the readings here are all helpful. I hyperlinked the readings so that even though you've seen these before, I want you to at least take another look at them, because they're going to help you think about revising at a deeper level. Double check your MLA formatting, your citations, and so on. I made this little handout, tips for revision, that you might find helpful, because glancing at drafts, I noticed some common things that I was saying more than once. So I thought maybe just put it in one document. And so you can take a look at that. I've given you some sample ways to quote and paraphrase cite, how to write a works cited citation for a personal interview, revision tips, and so on. This video, I think you'll find helpful. This is how to proofread your paper, and she's pretty thorough. She covers a lot of territory. So even if you don't want to look at my tips or look at hers, she's pretty awesome. Your final draft of your report, as you know, is due no later than Sunday night. You can take a look at the rubric beforehand to get a sense of what I'll be looking for, but you should know what I'm looking for because you've been doing your peer reviews. The peer review worksheet is is a pretty good guide for you to think about your work. As you know, the journal is here, and you'll just reflect on what you learned about your research process, what lessons and activities or resources did you find helpful. Share at least one thing you think went well in your informational report. You can brag and show off. In fact, that's really great because when I look at that, I will know I'm going to pay attention to this passage in your essay with appreciative eyes. Not that I wouldn't anyway, but it would, just call my attention to it. And what changed in revision? Please call my attention to that because that's part of the grade. And what remains difficult? What would you like help with? The final project for this class, there's PowerPoint here, and the prompt is to take your work that you've done in this particular unit to a new audience using a new genre or medium. This means you are going to think about who will best benefit from the material you've gathered for your informational report. You have been thinking of an audience as you're writing your informational report, but you can think about it in a new way. For example, if I were to be giving a presentation about healthy eating habits to adults, I might use a PowerPoint or a website or a brochure. If I'm writing about healthy eating habits for children, I might use a poster or an animated video or now that, animated meaning very excited. I could do a puppet show and record it as a video. I could do all kinds of stuff that would be more appropriate for that audience. So in this particular assignment, and you're going to look at this point and prompt, you are going to choose a means of producing a digital document, in a sense, using any of these tools. Canva is super easy. That's why I posted that poster, because that took me about half an hour, and that was only because I was looking for the graphics that I wanted to include. Google Charts, Visme, all those things are pretty easy. If you want to do a podcast, maybe you're writing for or presenting information to an audience who commutes and listens to podcasts on their drive, or an audience that, like many people listen to podcasts. That's just a hip and cool thing. Podcasts are basically just recordings of conversations. So you can use any of these tools. If you want to make a video, you can use any of these tools and or your phone, to record a video, but you can edit it using one of these tools. If you want to make a website, any of these would work. And here are some super duper cool student works where they did some kind of cool presentation of the materials that they gathered for their informational reports. So I want you to take a look at all of that stuff. You just need to know that's coming, okay? This week, I'll make some videos that I'll post in next week's module for you, so you'll see how to play with various tools. But also, your readings this week include some super duper chapters on print and digital media's websites, presentations, infographics, and making podcasts. These deals will help you think about what kinds of tools you might use for the specific audience you want to reach. And they'll also they will demystify the process for you. It won't be as scary as you think. All of that said, I imagine you're going to spend most of this week finishing and editing and working on your informational report. You need to know what's coming, and we'll get to that. But right now, what we need to think about is you and taking care of you and your work so that This is less stressful for all concerned. Now, coming back to the bigger point, this is Thanksgiving week. This is the weirdest Thanksgiving ever. Many of us are not visiting relatives or having big gatherings or traveling because of this nasty, awful virus that is even nastier and more awful than it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And so your safety and your sanity is more important than any work that you do for this or any other class. Now, who am I to say that? I'm your instructor. Yes, I want you to succeed. Yes, I want you to pass. Yes, I want you to have all the support you possibly can have to do well in this class and beyond. And that is my job, is to prepare you for writing in future classes. But I also want you to be healthy. I want you to be well, and I want you to be safe. Now, being healthy means more than being COVID-free, although that's really important. Being healthy also means being mentally and emotionally well. And during these very stressful times, I understand that that's not so easy, not always. I will post some resources for all concerned just because. I know that there are folks who are struggling in many different ways. And you don't need me to list them because you know there's a lot going on. So your job primarily this week is to do what is going to help you get through this class, get through the end of the term, but to get through the holidays in a way that is healthy and safe and self-nurturing. So if you need to take a day off to go for a walk, go for, play some video games, chat with friends on Discord or FaceTime or whatever, do it so that you have fresh eyes for your work, but also a fresh heart and a fresh brain. And take care of yourselves. This is very, very important. You have a little bit of extra time to finish your report. Yes, we will be working toward your next assignment with greater zeal next week. You should know what's coming, but in the meantime, do what is necessary to do what you need to do for yourself, your work, and your health. I'll be thinking of you this holiday, and please reach out. As I say, I've got more time scheduled for Calendly events, and Rachel's also available to you. And let's support each other through the end of the term. Take care, y'all.